Did you see it? There are other churches that need to occupy this space, so I am going to be briefer than I've ever been, but I will still claim my privilege and my pride and pleasure, which is this final part of our service, in which I get to speak to you briefly. Steve was saying something to me about the clock, so I missed what George said about my past. Something about being run out of Illinois, right? Right?
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you that it was not at the hands of whatever George probably thought. Because I was run out of Illinois, but it wasn't by people who were calling me a flim flam bunko jingle jangle man. I was run out of Illinois in reverse. Which is to say, I was pulled out. I was pulled out of there by something in the future. Something that I didn't know what it was. I thought you cared about Shlomo Juber. And yet you laugh. Why, I should freeze your head. In the south side of Chicago where I grew up, I worked for about 9 months the graveyard shift at a white hen pantry. That's the Midwestern equivalent of a 7-Eleven. I would work from 11 to 7. I swear I did. And I would then go home, and my kid brother and sister were just waking up. We would watch Blue's Clues, because that was a brand new show, and it took me about 4 months to realize they show the same episode Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday of every week. They do. Partially on efficiency money-wise, partially based on science that shows that kids love and thrive and learn on repetition. Well, you know who doesn't? Grown-ups. You know who doesn't? It's 24-year-old motherfuckers who are living in the same city they grew up in. Have a union job for the electric company, which is eventually what I ended up doing. Do improv shows here and there. Whoop-de-doo. And at least once or twice a month have to go to some family function or another. I have a family that is very complicated. All told, I've got, there was 5 of us, and then there's 2 others, and then there's another one. 3 different marriages. All kinds of shit. At least once a month, I had to spend a big chunk of my weekend going to somebody's house. And in my dad's house, it was cool, but there was tension. At my mom's house, there was good food. Oh! Everything was on a loop. And remember when, who does it? Almost everyone does it. I think Winnie the Pooh does it at one point. You walk around in a circle and you dig and groove in the floor. And eventually at some point somebody comes in your house and doesn't even think there's anybody there because you're so deep you're not even peeping up. That was me. That was me in Chicago in about 2005. My wife, now, then girlfriend, and I had a baby. That's awesome. She had already planned to move to New York to go to Columbia University. And I was going to go too. Because we were having a baby. Had there not been a baby, I don't know that I would have come. There was a plan where after a year I was going to move out there. We didn't know if that was going to happen. I didn't know then that I was in that rut, because when you're in a rut and you're 6 feet under the surface of your oriental rug, you don't know it. You just think you're walking into a hallway and you're always sure that what you're looking for is going to be around the next bend. But all that's around the next bend is getting a little bit deeper, the light gets dimmer, eventually you die, nobody even knows. Well, yeah. What happened to Shlomo? Was he in a rut? Was he in a rut? Yeah, he loved his rut, that Shlomo. Yeah. I didn't know that I was in a rut, and I didn't know I needed to get out of it. Just like I didn't know for 4 months that I was watching the same fucking episode of Blue's Clues every week. I did know that we were watching Winnie the Pooh and then Dumbo on a loop, and that I loved. Can't really go wrong with Disney stuff. Nickelodeon and his issues. I didn't know I was in that rut and I was going to just die doing improv shows and reading electric meters, maybe cutting people's power off. I did that for a summer. It was great. I didn't know that I needed to get the fuck out of there, but something did. Something that put a baby, well, I put a baby in my wife's belly, but something that arranged for that to happen, arranged for me to fall in love with someone who had more ambition than I did, and dragged me out of the rut in Chicago, in Illinois, and pulled me here, to this goofy-ass place that I never in a million years would have moved to. I'm really grateful that it did. Because I have currently a really goofy 48-hour-a-week job, but it's a fuckload easier than reading electric meters. And it doesn't leave me physically and mentally broken and exhausted every day. So if I need to, I can think up some sort of a crazy show about an imaginary church. For instance. So here's what I want you to do, dear friend. Stand up, if you will. You're going to need to be a little nimble for this one, because I want you to close your eyes. And just, if you can without breaking your fucking nose, turn around, real slow. And as you're turning, I want you to look at the various aspects of your actual life. This is a fake church. You don't have to participate. If you want to, you're allowed. As you're facing, say right now, what you're facing is your home where you live. As you keep rotating slowly, now you're facing where you work. Picture that. As you turn, now again, you're facing where you spend your free time. As you turn again to the fourth quadrant, you are facing what you think about. As you turn around and look at these things, ask yourself, have these changed in the last 6 months? One of mine has. The second one of mine. Look at it. Home. Work. Free time. And thought. Are they changing? If they're not, you're in a rut. And you don't want to be like Shlomo, who was a good man, but he died 6 feet under the surface of a rut. So as you turn now, if you're in a rut, look at which of these, or even if you're not, which of these has gone the longest without changing. Take out your sacramental paintbrush, which I know you have in your pocket because you brought it. Dip it in your sacramental ink pot, which you've got in your other pocket. Dip it in there, and as you face the thing, you can stop turning if you're going to. But face the one of those: work, home, free time, or thought that has need to change. And paint a mustache on that motherfucker. Ready with me? Say, I'm a 1